Hi, my name is Neil Kelleher. In this video I'll be going over an introduction to handstand. The idea of these exercises, in this video at least, isn't to balance in handstand, but actually to get used to being upside down and to learn how to control and use particular muscles that will be helpful in handstand. We'll start off with a variation of downward facing dog. So for this, you can start on your knees. Position your hands slightly ahead of your knees. So you can start off in this position with your shoulders over your wrists or your hips over your knees, doesn't really matter. The important thing is to feel your shoulders, so you can relax your shoulders in such a way that your chest sinks down. And then from there, press your rib cage up and then reach back. I'm going to move my knees a little bit back here, and the idea of moving back is make the arms feel long, make your spine feel long, and then go forward and relax. You can turn that into a 4-step exercise. 1, lift your chest. 2, reach back. 3, return to the front. 4, relax. Some people have problems with lifting the chest up, and if you haven't done any shoulder awareness exercises, a very simple exercise you could do to work towards that is to feel your shoulders with your chest lifted. Just move your shoulders forward and then relax. And when you repeat that a few times, when you move your shoulders forward, notice your shoulder blades. Feel your shoulder blades moving outwards. So your shoulder blades are here, away from your spine, away from each other. Then when you relax, they move inwards. Not here. This is actually the opposite action, moving your shoulders back. So just spread and relax. And then once you have the feeling of that, try it with your arms forward, much like you'd be with the position we were just doing. So in this case, I'm keeping my chest still, shoulders forward. You might feel like your arms become longer, and then relax. Shoulders forward and relax. And initially you might find this more like this and then that. Once you get a feel for the action, try to do it slowly and repeat it a few times so you can get used to actually feeling your shoulder blades spread and then relax. And then return to this position. And again, if you're having trouble, practice first here. Relax your shoulders. Spread your shoulders to push your rib cage up, and then relax. And again, what you may find, if your hands are closer together, if you're not used to this type of exercise, you may find it helpful to start with your hands wider. Rib cage up, down, then repeat that a few times, and then try it with your hands perhaps shoulder width. Rib cage up, and then back. Now continuing on with the exercise, so the idea is to repeat that a few times. Then the next stage, lift your shoulders, push back. Try and make your arms feel long, make your spine feel long. The next stage from here is to lift the knees. Now to lift the knees, the idea is to keep your rib cage still. So try to press your feet down so that your knees lift up. And you may notice that it's actually very difficult. Normally I get students, the first time they do it, they're moving forward. And the trick to this is to activate the shoulders. So prior to lifting your knees, use your shoulders to push your hands forwards. You should feel some strength. You should feel your shoulder feeling strong. So use your shoulders to press your hands forwards. Recognize the feeling of strength in the shoulders, and then slowly lift the knees, lower the knees down, and relax. And even that, notice that relaxation was sudden like that. Try to make the relaxation slow and smooth. And even with the knee lifting, so once you're used to the general exercise, activate the shoulders, slowly lift the knees, slowly touch the knees down, and then relax and stay pushed back. And what you can do is notice the sensation of your knees touching the floor. So as you press your feet down, notice the increased pressure of your feet pressing down, notice your knees lightly touching the floor, and then just lift clear enough that the skin of your knees, you feel the skin of your knees lift the floor, lift away. Similar exercise you can do, similar variation of downward dog, is start with the knees bent but lifted. Now from here, same action again. Use the shoulder blades, lift the rib cage, push the rib cage back. And then from here, what you can do, make your arms feel long, make your spine feel long. So it feels like you're pushing your hips away from your hands, and then just relax your shoulders. So here the focus is on the shoulders. Use your shoulders, push your hips back, and then relax. Use your shoulders, push your hips back, and then relax. And in a similar sort of way that some people don't get the spread in the shoulder action with the arms in front, you can also practice this in isolation if you have difficulty or your students have difficulty. So it might start with the arms down, lift the shoulders, relax, lift, relax. Notice the shoulders moving up towards the ears, or if you like, notice your shoulders moving up relative to the rib cage, and notice your shoulders moving up away from your pelvis. Once you can feel that, and some people, if they're not used to doing this, might have difficulty. One side might be higher than the other. So practice that first, and then try it with the hands lifted. And again, it might be easier with the hands slightly wider, shoulders up, and then relax. And then practice that a few times, hands shoulder width, up, and then relax. And the important thing, rather than just going up and relax, see if you can do it slowly. So once you have a feel for the basic action, slowly lift up, and slowly lower down. And then same action, only this time instead of the hands moving, it's the rib cage. So shoulders towards the ears so your rib cage moves away from your hands, and then relax. Shoulders away from the ears, and then relax. The next part we'll use a wall. So I'm going to be using this wall. Ideally you can see what's happening. I'm not going to worry too much about the distance my hands are away from the wall for this initial exercise. Obviously if your hands are too far away from the wall, you're not going to get your feet to touch the floor. So don't worry about it too much, just close enough. If you find you're too far, move further away, move closer. If you're too close, then move further away. But to start off with, hands on the floor. So watch me first. Use your shoulders to press your hands down, so make your shoulders feel strong. Then lift one foot up, touch it to the wall, press the foot into the wall, so make it feel strong. So this is similar to this action where press the feet into the floor so that the feet feel strong, the knees are light, and then the knees can lift up. It's a very similar action here. So shoulders strong, one foot up, press the foot into the wall. You should feel this leg relax, then lift up, then come back down. That's all there is to it. Shoulders strong, other foot. Press the wall, feel this leg relax, lift it, and then relax. Initially, depending on how much shoulder work you do, you may find this is challenging. So do a couple, rest, do a couple, rest. And ideally the steps are simple. So what you can do then is once you know the steps, work at doing it smoothly. And you don't have to do a lot of these. Just try, perhaps at the beginning of each workout or each class, each time you're doing handstand, just try a few. See if you can do it with your breath, or at the very least, see if you can do it slowly and smoothly. So shoulders activated, that's step one. Foot against the wall, step two. Press the wall, lift the foot, step three. And then come down, step four, longer, step four. Push, foot up, press, lift, and then relax. Now I didn't break that down into steps very well, but see if you can do it slowly and smoothly. So press, lift, touch, lower. Press, lift, touch, and lower. So now that you're used to being upside down, or ideally are used to being upside down, the next step is to get both feet up. So again, shoulders over the wrist. I didn't point that out last time, but shoulders over the wrist, make the shoulders strong. So use your shoulders to press your hands into the floor. Lift one foot up, press the wall, lift the other foot up, and then come down. So that was a bit too close. I'll come out here, shoulders strong, lift one leg, press the wall, other leg up, and then come down. Now once you're used to that, what you can do is play with the distance. So start off further away from the wall. So press with the shoulders, one leg up, other leg up, and then come down. And then bring the hands a little bit closer. Shoulders strong, shoulders over the wrist, one leg up, press the wall, other leg up, and then come down, and then come closer. Shoulders over the wrist, shoulders strong, one leg up, other leg up, and then come down. And see how close you can get comfortably. Shoulders strong, One leg up, other leg up, and then come down and rest. One thing I didn't point out is you notice I've got a scroll here. You might have pictures on your wall. Sometimes you might have nails. Do be careful wherever you are working. One of the gyms I have, there are stereos at a certain level. So make sure that there's nothing on the walls that you're potentially going to kick over. And also the area behind you, make sure it's clear so that if you do come out of handstand, or you have to make a fast exit, make sure there's nothing around you. Make sure the kid, the pets, they're not in the way so that you can fall safely and in the process not hurt anyone or anything. But for now, what you can do, so just like in this exercise, use your shoulders push back and then relax, use your shoulders push back. Try it in handstand against the wall. So shoulders are active. So actually, shoulders active. One leg up, press the wall, the other leg up. Your shoulders over the wrist. Try and relax your shoulders without bending your elbows. Use your shoulders push up and then relax. Use your shoulders push up, inhale, and then relax. Shoulders up, then relax. And I'll show you from, hopefully I'm still in view. I'll show you from this view as well. So your shoulders active, relax. Notice my rib cage and head moving closer to the wall. Rib cage moving closer to the floor, away from the floor, towards the floor, and away from the floor. Now, the idea of that exercise obviously is to get used to controlling your shoulders. You'll find the sensation when you're right at the bottom is different, excuse me, than when you're pushing your rib cage up away from the floor. And it isn't to say that you should push your rib cage all the way up or let it drop all the way down, but get used to feeling your shoulders through that whole range of motion so that as you get used to doing it, as you practice handstand, you'll find the right setting for you. So the idea here is rather than having a fixed alignment, learn how to feel the parts of your body so that you can find the best alignment, the best position by feeling, by notice any lack of tension or an excess of tension, and finding the happy medium right in between so that the parts of your body are more integrated in the pose. Anyway, that's it for now. Actually, no, it isn't. Just a quick cool down. So one of the things generally I like to do after a handstand, just bend forward. You can support your upper body with your hands on the floor. If you can't touch the floor, maybe bend your knees. If you've got chair or yoga blocks, use those. Rest. Then as you find yourself relaxing, you can take your hands off the floor, off the yoga blocks, just grab your elbows. See if you can relax your shoulders. So right now I'm pulling them up away from my ears. Now I'm going to relax them, let them hang down so my arms are loose. I'm going to relax my neck so that my head is loose. You can wiggle side to side if you like, maybe turning your body from side to side or just moving your hips to side. That can feel nice. You could also, so just there. And then from there, you may find it nice to lie down. Depending on what you've done before, you could push your hips up in bridge pose, work the back of your hips a little bit, open up the front. If you like, push your shoulders down and push your arms into the floor, open your chest, and then relax. And then if you like to exercise the front a bit, reach your arms and legs up, lift your chest, and lift your hips, and make your neck feel long. And then relax, hands on your heart, and rest. But anyway, that's it for this introduction to handstand. What I suggest, work towards it gradually. Rest when you're tired, particularly when you're learning something like handstand. When you're first learning the movements, go slowly and smoothly. Rest when you need to. Once you're comfortable with the movements, then go for endurance. So gradually work at gradually increasing the time you spend upside down. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.